Hello, this is Tim from TechArtist41, and welcome back. Alright, so here's where we left off. We do have, let's see, open recent. There we go. So this is what I finished, well, almost finished. There's some other things that I need to do to make it finished, but I like how it looks. Alright, now let's get back to what I was doing before. And this stream's not going to be a long stream, so if anybody does have questions, I will answer them. You just have to make sure that it fits within the hour. Thank you. Alright. Let's turn down the opacity. Yeah, I don't have any sound with anything that I have. I do have a piano behind me. Just, it's slightly broken. It has one key that actually repeats itself. A lot of my stuff I have to constantly keep maintenance on, otherwise it will break. Especially devices, including printers. I have an EcoTank printer, and, well, like anything else, it actually works quite well. You just have to make sure you take care of it every single day, otherwise it'll get clogged on you, like any other type of thing. Let's see, what am I thinking about? I'm not thinking about this, I don't know why. Alright, let's just do a new one. I'm gonna finish her one day. Just not right now. Start out general figure. And I know it's past Halloween, it's more closer to Christmas. Elves and all that stuff should be on my mind, but they aren't. They never really are. But let me see. Let's add a new layer. Going to do it according to the curves. So we have my figure here. Let's see. No, not that. Let's see. So we can do something like this. Body, the motion, head swaying one way, body the other. Of course, everything in this world has a line of motion. It's just how you find that line of motion is the trick. So and depending on how you draw anything, you can always make it so that the line of motion is quite similar to how you actually want it to appear. But with arms and all that stuff, you do have to be very careful not to adjust it way too much. It can be exaggerated, but to an extent. And you can get something very creative out of the line of motion. You just have to imagine it. But that's besides the fact, though. The shoulder blades, depending on how you position anything, it can be very broken if you don't do anything right with the arms. The arms are quite tricky, because you can show one arm in something, but you don't always have to show the other. But and give her a headdress, right? Oh, let's see. Got the head, line of motion. And what you can do is with this, you can cover up certain things and objects and all that stuff. But it's probably the easiest way for me to draw. A mess of motion. So we move the head down here. It doesn't take very much to clean up any of your drawings. You do have to, as it gets towards the wrist, you do have to make it smaller. Otherwise, it doesn't look quite right. So let's see. That this way. Show the form and the dress. Move this down a little bit. Make sure that her face is in a certain direction. Ears are about right here. Nose is right about here. Eyes are right here. The thing about eyes, they're kind of tricky depending on which angle you are doing them. Yeah. This is mostly just concept for me. Let's see. I know no one's really going to be online quite at this hour, but there we are. And some people do have a long neck like this. It's just depending on how someone is in real life. But usually what people do is they take this, make it larger, stretch it, expand it to fit the needs of what it needs to be. But I mostly just need to move it down. And then what you do is you take that, could leave her as it is, but you do need to make sure that her head gets a little bit more rounded. Drawing anything is a little bit a form of creativity. It does take practice. Does take practice for someone to whenever I see something, I end up drawing a similar thing. So, basically looking at Facebook and saw something similar. So, I tend to copy it in the sense of what it is. But add a little bit of my own twist. But, yeah, her head still looks way too small. But, yeah. Take that, add another layer on top of that layer, reduce it. Take that layer away, focus on the head first. Good. Everyone's start to finish always looks quite different than what they initially had. There we go. Eyes, eyebrows. Could give her an interesting ear, but let's just go with the natural ear. Everyone's ear is different, so I'm just drawing the simplest part of everything. I just draw different styles when I feel like it. It is just how I tend to draw it, or figure it out, is the question. Everything just ends up being a mess before I even finish anything. Okay. Yep. Alright. So now that we have the hair. Slightly unkempt. Doesn't look right. Let's erase that. Alright, let's see. Yeah. Okay. We'll leave that as it is for now. Deal with it later. So this part. I get the idea and then I go step by step after that idea. So I work backwards from where I started. Block by block, step by step. And bend. Okay. Right there. Even just drawing everything is very artistic, but let's see. Yeah, I have a hard time just drawing hands in the general sense, so sometimes just the hand like this. There we go. People don't have to be very muscular for everything, but they can be. They don't have to. Adding muscles to everything do have its challenges. That you have to adjust everything. So let's see. just trying to get the general feel of where we're headed, but not too much to where everything just looks wrong. Okay. Yeah, simple. Well, let's go back to this. Health, but general shape. I'll work on it. But I still have issues drawing people's bodies, but I can still sketch out most people in general. So let's see. Let's give her a slight fix up. Okay. Right there. Right there. My planning stages are all over the place, like like anything else. But sometimes I have to pose for whatever character I'm doing. So, hey, one viewer, average time, 47 seconds. That's fun. All right, so now that we got that. I'll just overlay this one on top. There we go. There we are. Yeah. I think it has to be exactly the same. Just has to be very, very close. Because whenever people look at stuff, they don't really realize that everything is slightly different. And I am planning on doing more paintings. I've just been focusing on cleaning my house at the moment. Let's see, there we go. Give her a small nose. That. And then we move on to the neck. Then the necklace. They roughly have to be the same size. They don't have to be completely, but it would help. always follows a different path on trying to create something. Yeah. Okay, we got most of her. Now we need to work on the hair. Before we move on to anything else, the hair has to come first. The hair is what shapes the character in some instances. And it actually affects the personality that you actually wish to give to your character, however you make it. But you do have to make it look slightly realistic, otherwise it breaks what you're trying to achieve. Even if it's fantasy, it still has to look somewhat real in order to portray the actual look of anything, really. Okay. Then we move on to the ears. Depending on how you want to draw the ears, you can either... Well, this is more of a character that follows not really a pig, more of a dog, less of a human, but still somewhat human. Still has to follow the lines and all that stuff. I know I'm not going to get very many viewers tonight, but I did promise that every week that I would be doing this. Alright. Just erase. Fill. Erase. There we go. And anything and everything can always become a masterpiece, depending on how you wish to achieve such of a masterpiece, really. So let's see. But don't expect everybody to believe that anybody can draw the same style, because that's not always the truth. I can draw multiple styles because I have an adaptive ability that sort of makes it easy for me to draw such styles. If I didn't have it, well, that'd be a different point. Oops. There we go. Okay. We got mostly everything. We're just missing the shoulder blades. Well, the shoulders, really. Oops. Put that on. There we go. And this one, you still need to draw certain lines and all that. So we take from that, and we get that. Not too bad. So we do erase some things, like the spots that look awkward. Then we adjust the lips to fit the character now. The character sometimes will show you how to draw the lips. You do need to draw them in a certain way for certain characters to pop. Not really bedazzle you, but something like that. Alright. Let's see. There we are. Don't want to do that. Add the eyebrow. There we go. Alright. We now have her. Every time I draw something, it's just slightly going one direction. Alright, let's see. Got it, okay. So, let's see. From this mess to that mess to this. I think she turned out quite well. Alright, well, let's give her something. So, let's see. I'm gonna do a little things a little bit different for her. And give her just an interesting look. We'll give her unique lips. And then for the hair, why not? Let's give her a type of hair that's not really normal for hair. There we go. We'll give her purple hair. Right now I'm just doing something general for everything. So there we go. Got the hair. Now we need to work on the fur. I'm going to make her a little bit more orange. So let's start with the ears. Yeah, that works. Make it lighter. And then for underneath, give her this. Oops. That needs to go above. There we go. Oops. Okay. Alright, we got those colors. We'll need to clean them up. I just do that for the generalization of it. She looks good that way too. Alright, let's... this, that. Or just generalizing what she's going to look like. I'm not going to do it perfect just yet. Just there we go. Just to make sure that all that is showing is relatively what I wanted. For where the hair stops, begins, yada yada. And then there are a few things that I probably need to do though. Put that back. But yeah, there's that. Start doing it with a small brush, but okay, let's see. Erase. Yeah, I don't think people will. Oh, well, I at least have 2 viewers. If you have any questions, thanks. Thanks on the comment of nice eyes. Let's see, there we go. Need to erase all this. We go to eraser and actually change the size. That's better. A little bit easier. And or fix all the spots that need to be fixed later. I'm just getting a rough representation of colors of where everything's at. Most of this will just be redone in certain areas. I also need to resketch it just so that everything looks correct. Okay. The first thing I need to do though, with the outline, brush, change the size back to normal. There we go. That's good enough. Okay. Brush. Alright, so let's see, right down here. You have to be very, very careful when sort of doing any sort of furry-like thing, because you don't want it to look too obvious in certain aspects, because then it ends up looking weird. I think that looks alright. How about you guys? You can text me it, see if that looks fine. The chat is open for anybody to make any comments. There we go. And right here too. There we are. And with anything, we could give her a dog nose. It's not hard. Just do this. That. Just basically make the nose really, really big. There you go. Not too hard. Roughly. sometimes dogs, ah, can't speak tonight, can I? Sometimes dog noses are very, very simple. Sometimes they're pink, but sometimes they're also just simple noses. There we go. And we have the nose of a dog. We'll make it black later. Or gray. Or whatever color it may be. But, alright. Adjust this right here. And make it furry. Just very, very careful lines on anything you're drawing for. Well, to simply put it, in order to make it so that the character is following the guidelines of what you want. And in some certain areas you do not want to over furify it. Yes, I said over furify it, because if you put too much of a squiggle or fur line as to portray the furriness, it will not come out right. But for the ears, you really don't have to, because usually the ears are the one thing that you do not have to redo as much. Alright, so now that we have all that sort of settled, those are mostly the colors. Let's retrace it, and then clean up the colors, in essence. Okay, there we go. And I'm not really following the lines here. For the reason that there's really no need to follow every single line to make it look nice. There we go. Then we do that. Just getting general shapes and lines. And come on. There we go. Alright. It does take time and effort to make something look really nice. Or it takes 2 hours and something minutes. Give or take. Everyone has their own timeline of how they finish things. My timeline of finishing something with it completely being finished is, for digital stuff, about 1 to 3 hours, depending on exactly what I wanted to finish. Let's see, I'm gonna do this. Have it come together like that. There we go. And there we are. And anybody can draw what I'm drawing if they just practice enough. In the beginning I was okay at drawing, but keep on drawing, you keep on, well, you keep with your skills over time, and they will develop. Okay, equalize it. So the I needs to be right here to be accurately correct. And then careful. And then right here. Careful there. No, still doesn't look the same. So let's see. I ratio I on one side. I know I could just copy it, but where's the fun? Okay. Eyes need to be in a similar direction. Yeah, they're gonna be different. Oh well. There we go. Yeah, the people didn't look right. So right in the center it looks like. A little wider. There we go. Yeah, everyone has trouble with everything. I'm a perfectionist, so I like to do it correctly, in some aspect of way. Yeah, it's close enough. We'll say it. There we go. Could do that. I could also make her a pig, but pigs aren't very hairy. They're less hairy. But let's see. Adding a couple of things might add a little bit to it. Okay, there we go. Then we add this. Add the furriness back. Make it a little bit less furry, more defined. There we are. There we go. And we do need to make these a little round. Hopefully the same size. And there are many tricks that I'm not going to use for Photoshop that you could basically just repeat it with circles, and none would be the wiser. Shortcuts aren't always the way to go, but it does save you time sometimes. But you don't want to rely on them to the fact that you don't know how to do it without any shortcuts, because that can get tricky if you don't do it right. There we go. Come on. There. Okay. Alright. Got that side, that side. And then we got this. So let's see. Oh, 7 years tall. Nice. I did not want to change the color. Brush. Nice. Okay. There's that. Got that. Roughly shapes and sizes of everything. Let's see, there we go. It's too close. Adjust this. Little way. There we go. Mostly just fixing spots. There we go. Okay. We're going to take out these real quick. So I'm not sure where to have her look at the moment. Okay. And one there. Alright, we got everything from the previous layer, except for the eyes, which I understand. There are certain things that are bugging me like this. And it needs to be slightly larger. Turned right over here. And right about right here. Yep, right there works. And then brush, eraser, erase what I don't need. And reduce certain areas. Take off that side. That looks better. Good, good. Alright. Now that we got that, I can draw what I want to see on. let's see. Dogs usually have pupils somewhat like this. Um, Snakes and other reptiles have pupils somewhat like this. And tigers. Actually, cats. Yeah, any form of cat does. Mine will have something entirely different than... Alright, let's look, let's see. So, we're gonna do something like this, where circle within a circle, create an eye like that. But that's mostly just gonna be a template. I'm gonna erase that part up. Just use this as a template for each eye. Alright, let's see. We're gonna give her green eyes. We're gonna have it in between the hair layer and the lip layer. Greenish, sort of bronze-like. Sorry, I'm a bit colorblind, so it's hard for me to really tell what colors are. Yeah. It's more yellow. Alright, a little bit more orange than yellow or anything like that. Let's see. We adjust that. Then we bring it down. Create the circle in each. Take some of the blue. Okay. And we have an eye that looks utterly crazy. Alright, let's see. There we go. Make it lighter. Nothing really has to be the same color, it just has to be similar of what you're trying to get towards. And then, well, I could use smudge, but I don't like using smudge for everything. Now we add the green. We'll most likely just have a black spot in the middle. Okay. And take away the template. Oops. Not that. They have similar eyes. Well, we're missing the blue on the other one. Let's go right back here. Add in the pupil. You could always just copy it from one eye off the other, which would probably be easier. We'll leave it at that. Okay. We'll erase all this then. There's simple copying techniques. And the easiest way would just be to copy it from one eye to the other before adding anything else. So we got that, and that. Okay. Group. And copy. Duplicate group. Say OK. Control paste. Control T. Just move it into place. Adjust it to the eye. Each eye is never really the same, so it'll work. Yeah, that works. Okay. Brush. Start with the base part of the eye, like always. We erase. Eye. Brush. And fill in all the spots that we need to. Erase. Eye. Brush. Okay. And then we're gonna add some red. Yeah, the eye's not over. Then we take one of the colors, reduce the brush to to get as thin as possible. And then we just add the lines. Oops. I'm doing it on the wrong group, aren't I? Oh well. Well, always make sure that you're on the right layers and you name the groups accordingly. Yeah, I'm gonna just delete that layer for now. Yeah, that's the right way. Okay. Alright, let's continue. before I do that, let me add the red back. Red. Actually, red might work better. Might differentiate the eye a little bit better. And everyone's eye is slightly different too, so I just follow the lines of what an eye is supposed to go. These are the muscles in the eye. Well, in the iris. They don't follow this pattern exactly the way I'm doing it right now. No, this is a completely different pattern. But far away, everything looks quite nice. Alright, now that we have the effect of the eye, relatively. Alright, we're done with creating the eye. Alright, let's duplicate it again. Duplicate, enter, Control T, and move it back over. Oops, there we go. And we just adjust it accordingly. Left to right, left to left. Right about there. And then we just erase all the marks and everything that needs to be erased. And we'll have our eye. It's just the simpler way. Don't want to complicate things way too much. And I'd rather not do this multiple times than I've already done. Alright, now that we have a generalization of the eye, we have the pupil. And for this, we do need a larger brush, just makes it easier. Doesn't have to be exactly the same, but it can be. And let's see, let's add a little bit of a tint. Add some flow. Change the size to a little bit bigger, as soft as possibly can be. And then you can add a nice effect here. It does make her eyes look cloudy, so I'll just ignore that. Yep, that's right there. Is that? Yeah, that's that. Okay, we'll just add another layer. It's not going to hurt anything. Just go back to white. And then you just add it where it needs to be on the eye. There we go. Have customized. Alright. Now that we have that, let's fix all the actual color. Kind of looks like a horror. She looks more shocked than anything. Alright, let's fix her. No, in that sense. Alright, there we go. And undo. There we go. Erase. Okay. Good in some areas, not in others. Doesn't matter if I fill this or not. It's not going to really do much of anything. Let's erase a bit more. Here we go. But a lot of artists actually like anime, and I'm no exception on that. I love to watch anime. It is one of my favorite things to do because I get bored quite easily. You wouldn't think it, but I get pretty bored if I'm not either reading something of someone's story or writing my own. And I'm still working on that. I'm still working on trying to finish my own story. And if you want to support me with any of my endeavors, I do have a Patreon, or if you want to pay for one of my NFTs, that will work as well. I'm gonna have to delist some of them and reprice them. But I do have some that are around $30 that are good and are of some of my previous works that I've done on, well, on stream actually. I actually did put the Valentine's Day one. That one I did put. And on next Valentine's Day, I will be drawing another elaborate piece as well, so get ready for that. I'm not really a connoisseur of Valentine's because, well, I don't eat chocolate on a normal basis. I kind of forced myself out of eating chocolate. I know, it's kind of silly how can you force yourself out of eating chocolate? Well, I just listen to my body to the extent now that I eat sugar when I need sugar. No, I don't have any cravings or sweet tooth for anything. Just, if I want it, I'll eat it. If my body needs it, sure, why not? Hmm. Let's see. I think that looks pretty good. With the eyes like that, and then there's no back into the eyes. Kinda looks a little creepy. Alright, let's at least add something just so that just looks a little bit less creepy. Still looks creepy, but less. But if you watch anything that I do, try this trick of going around your screen and moving left to right. If it's looking straight forward at you, of something that I've done, then it will actually follow you wherever you move. So, that's some of the. So I'm going to probably do that at the end of this stream. Is just have it just look straight forward, like this, and then move your eyes. Well, move your head in a left and right direction, and just tell me if you even if her eyes follow you. They probably will, because that's how I created her. There we go. Whoops, don't want to erase that. Come on. There we go. There we are. Scar would be nice right there, but not. She's not gonna have any scars. She's not a war bunny or any type of thing like that. I do like bunnies too. Let's see. Scooch in. I do have drawings that do have nudity in them. Every artist does. You ask them and they will deny it. But, around 100% of the artists that I know do draw nudity in their spare time. Mostly for their own pleasure and for the fact that they can. And it's their imagination, so why not? And they can also get away with saying, oh yeah, we're just trying to figure out the figure. Well, we all can do that, but don't want to forget this part right here. Come on. There we go. And there we are. Clean that up. Brush that over. And that. I'll need to fix some of these edges. Okay. Get rid of that. Any blue, well, any purple left over? Don't think so. And there we are. Just coming out nicely. Alright, now that we have that, we can take away the hair, get rid of the parts that don't need to be there for the skin, or the fur, whatever it is, at this point. Just enough. There we go. So it's still covering the figure, but not really interfering with any of the other aspects. There we go. And alright, we're good there. Put the hair back on. Erase this on top. But I watch obscure things. I love dark, and I mean dark movies. But I haven't seen Five Nights at Freddy's or FNAF. I've been more of keeping myself inside, where it's warm. But no, I'm also getting ready for an event in Longview, Texas, as well. So if you do wish to see me in person and actually see my art, buy it. I will be selling it for, well, I'll be selling my digital stuff that I'll have printed out for around $20. I do take cash and credit cards, but mostly still trying to figure out a base of operations for everything. So let's see. But in this stream, all I'm doing is trying to get this ready for next time. So, alright. Got that. We need to erase some of that. And I do not advertise much of what I do. And why do you think that is? Well, I do like my privacy to some extent. Like anybody, it's like, you don't want a paparazzi just showing up out of nowhere. It's like, unless you're used to it, then I don't know what to say to you when that becomes normal. I don't know. It's hard to say. Let's see, right there, and we add a little bit roughness here. Keep that on 100. Put that soft. There we go. And then the darkness. Darkness, my old friend. Just. Okay. And there we are. And the lips are the last thing to do. They're right here. I only get the color of the lips first, and then I do the lips after. Brush. Is that it? Okay. That is the layer that I created. So, what I can do right now is create same thing at the bottom. And with this, I do have to do the lips in two different ways. Okay, once we have that, well, after I do the lips, I do have to do the teeth and all that. So, take that off of that, hardness to 100%, lower this down, and then underneath, there we go. Undo, there we go. Follow the contours of the lips, and then take that, and do a little bit more shading. Put it back to 0% hardness. There we go. that layer where it's at. Just making sure this is not any other layer. That's why it's always good to have your layers a little bit categorized and all that. It helps. Every part of the process helps. You don't have to be completely accurate on anything. You just have to give the effect of what you're trying to do. There we go. We do need a darker color underneath though. Well, to give a better look for that. And then the hardest part is erasing. So that looks interesting, but no, we're not going with that effect. Let's see. Okay, right here, right here, right here. Okay. That's where that is. Alright, we'll go to the eraser, adjust the settings on the eraser. Same, but different. Because we want the eraser to also have pressure sensitivity whenever we're erasing anything. Oops, a little too much there. I just need to adjust the line. It'll be fine. So, brush, eraser, brush. Put that back to 100%. Adjust the size again. And adjust that to the eraser again. Turn off these settings. Just need to increase it a little bit. And on top of all those layers, take that layer out. We no longer need it. We only needed it for its color. Okay. Okay. Alright. But yeah, this is why you need to understand where your layers are at. Okay. Because you will get lost otherwise. Okay, so that's the eyes. Okay, so right here, right above the lips, just so I know what this is, or name it teeth, just so I can find myself. we're still in the... There we go. And usually teeth, you don't have to put any shading. It sort of implies shading after, if you do the lines right. Okay, now we have that. Take that, and lighter color, and then we take the skin, put on the biggest brush possible, same thing with all the other different types of shading. It's a little too big. Looking into 1400. There we go. No, a little bit larger. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. But you don't want... You want the opacity on this to be really down low, around 12. You don't want this to be too harsh in any sense of the word. You just want it to be very subtle. Whenever you're working with any sort of... Okay, that looks fine. Just the opacity, just a bit. There we go. You don't want it to be too harsh for the reason that you're not having this take over your whole drawing. Okay. I was going to go for 1 hour. It never ends up that way, does it? Okay. There we go. And I like that. So we'll leave it like that. And we'll finish this next time. It is almost done. I do need to fix up some of the lines. But we've got most of it. And there she is. Zivane. Or, no. This is Nephilia. Nephila. Yeah. Really can't speak tonight, can I? Alright. But I do hope you guys have a good night. Thanks for the few people that were joining. Of course, most people just go on and then they stop. I'm gonna leave this on here for a few moments and have you look at it and move your head side to side and it will follow you. Wherever you go, it will look upon your face. But hope you guys have a good night, and this is Tech Artist 41 signing off, other known as Tim. Thank you.